Hi, everybody, and welcome to another live episode of The Grid. I'm having to stop these two here. They're just, anyway, we are very glad you're here. My name is Scott Kelby. We have two very special guests today. To my left, photographer and producer,
yes.
Production person, producer, Jen Coffin. Jen, welcome.
Thank you.
And to my right, reprising her role from 2 weeks ago, as is Jen, my wife, Kalebra.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right,
It
well.
feels better not to be in the middle of all that.
Yeah, I know. I felt like I'm leaning over or having to flirt with my own wife across somebody else. It was like, you know, Jen, can you back up?
Scooting back.
Back it up a little bit?
I'm so sorry, Jen.
It's okay.
So you notice we're all at different levels. We're like a little lower than normal. So, well, we
Make the seat go up.
no, we got new seats.
But I might not be able to do it without going a lot lower.
Yeah,
no,
first.
we're not touching the height. This is where we're at. But I want to shout out to my friends in the UK.
Woo-hoo.
My Marshall Union flag shirt. Not a Union Jack, Union flag. Boom.
All right. You just flashed them, did you?
Well,
He
it's not
did.
a flash. It's just, hey, there's the on my shirt. It's not really.
It's very provocative today.
Yes, I'm very provocative. You know why I'm provocative? Because I feel naked. You know why I feel naked? Because I don't have a mic in front of me.
Yeah.
When we go three, we don't have this third mic. We only have, so I'm wearing like a lav mic.
Yep.
And listen to how rich their voice is. Say something here on your mic there.
Well, hello there.
Wow.
Okay. That's enough.
Okay, sorry. That's what we were going
I
for.
wish I hadn't even gone for that now. Now I feel fully clothed again. All right. Anyway, real quick, just a couple quick things to get us going. Today, our topic, we're going to pick up on a topic that we did, a couple of weeks ago, where we were talking about how to produce your own shoot. Well, it brought about a really interesting comment that I'm going to read here in just a moment. In our community, in the KelbyOne community, and I said, that's such a good topic. We're going to bring the crew back together, and we're going to pick up where we left off. It's going to be one of those shows, isn't it?
Yeah.
It sure is. I'm going to feel naked and odd man out the whole time. Naked and afraid. That's the new name for this show. Naked, afraidy. Anyway, just a couple quick things. First off, I'm leave tomorrow. I leave for Minneapolis. Aww. Oh, I know. I'm going to be in Minneapolis tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow, of course, but then I'll be teaching on Friday my full day of Lightroom. So if you want to come out, you can still come out. Hundreds of photographers have signed up. Don't be the only photographer in like Minneapolis or Indianapolis on Tuesday that isn't there, and then you hear about it later and go, oh, I heard you were in town. So go to KelbyOne Live and sign up. All right, what else we got? We've got giveaways today. Yes, we do. We have giveaways right here. You've heard of these guys. Lens Pro to go. Boom. $50 gift card for someone here in the United States, because if you live in Finland, they're not going to ship it to you. Oh, the second camera. Hi. Hi. This is a Lens Pro to go. $50 off. You can get it's a $50 gift card. You can just rent like lenses, cameras, lights, whatever. They're awesome people, incredible customer service. We're going to give away a very special book today. Photograph Like a Thief by wonderful photographer and retoucher and just a great person, Glenn Dewis.
Yes, definitely.
We love Glenn.
We do.
He is like family. We just love that guy. And he does. He has a magnetic personality. Everyone that meets him just falls in love with him. But he's an incredibly talented photographer. And he's also, I mean, he's got amazing retouching skills, but his photography is on so much fire, we're just going to say photographer, Glenn Dewis. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. We're going to be giving it away later today. You know what else we're going to be giving away? Platypod. This is the Platypod Pro. Wait, this is the Pro or the Max?
Max, it looks like. Max.
Oh yeah, Max. There we go. Can I tell you something? You remember last week we talked about they were doing a Kickstarter campaign? Now, when you do a Kickstarter campaign, right, you have to go, we're going to try to raise so much money, and they were all the way into June, and they go, if we don't reach, they needed to get $20,000 in funding. If we don't reach it, we're not going to get it. Mm-hmm. They got it in 24 hours. They reached the last time I looked, just like a couple days ago, they were double what they were looking for.
That's amazing.
Everybody, well, now it's for the smaller version of this, the Ultra. And maybe I can find an Ultra for later. Maybe Rachel will leave her. Rachel's sitting in, by the way. In Jen's place, Rachel's here.
Yeah.
Rachel said no.
How would you describe Rachel's look? Nervous? Freaked out? All of that?
No.
It is a tremendous responsibility. She is vice president of commenting.
Yes. Yes.
So in the event that the president of commenting cannot fulfill her role, the vice president will step in, as she has, and she's literally terrified. Anyway, we're giving away a platypod, just the coolest, most bestest, most awesome. But anyway, go to platypodpro.com and click on Kickstarter to watch the video. Just watch the video, you'll love it. But anyway, we're very happy that they did such a great thing. It's such a great product, and we're so happy that they got off to such a great start. Okay, what else? Real quickly, if you are a KelbyOne member, go download the KelbyOne Mags app, right? This is a magazine app, and it's to read Photoshop User and to read Lightroom User magazine, the two magazines we make for our members. You have to be a member for this, but anyway, and I know a lot of you are, so go download the app. People are loving it. I'm going to read you a comment that was on my Facebook page from it. They said, I'd pretty much given up reading the magazines because it was inconvenient, but I've already read the latest issue and going back to earlier issues. Great job. Actually, it is the best reading app I have used. That's from KelbyOne member Darla Todd. So anyway, people are loving it. Chris sent me a whole list of people just raving about it. It is the best magazine experience I've seen on a tablet. But
awesome.
it also lets you connect with everything, with our new KelbyOne Insider blog, with our Twitter page, with our Facebook page, with the community. You can watch classes. It's really a brilliant app, and it's free to KelbyOne members, KelbyOneMags.com. All right, we got some shout outs real quick. Look at this. Jeff May all the way.
Hey, Jeff.
From Tarpon Springs, Florida. Hey, Jeff. Fran Hughes is here. She says, hey, Scott, Kalebra, and Jen. Hi, Fran. Like, we're all like family with Fran now.
Yeah,
She's
we love
like,
Fran.
Hey, Fran came to Photoshop World. Now you're in. So let's see. Rachel's here. She says, hey, Scott, from Texas. And Roar's here from Norway. Jin Huang says, hi. Andy's here all the way from Otley, UK. Peter's here, of course, from London, and Peter! He says, greetings from Szczecin, Poland. Still in Poland. Peter's hanging out there. We're still glad that you're watching with us. Dalton says, hi. Bernie says, hi, guys and girls from Dublin, Ireland. We've been to Dublin.
Yes, I love
we
it.
love Dublin.
I love Ireland.
We love Ireland, especially
Everything
today.
about Ireland, yes. All about Ireland.
Ronald's here from Belgium. Stephanie says, here we go. Everyone sit down. Hey, Scott. I'm watching you from a truck stop in the Upper Peninsula, drinking coffee and eating hot cakes with Snake, Fat Louie, and Nick the Greek. All right, well, we're glad you're here. Wow, Stephanie, we're glad you're here. All right, Friedrich says, what did you say about the Max? Is it a better option than the Magic Arm? Hi from Sweden. Well, it's very different, Friedrich. And so the Platypod Pro, or the Platypod Max, which is what I'm holding here. The Platypod Max, this is to get your like camera in either very low to the ground or in a place where you normally wouldn't be able to put one. So you can put it in your car, you can strap it, you can literally strap this to a telephone pole, to a beam, to a railing and all. With the Magic Arm, which is quite a bit more expensive, by the way, because you have to buy the arm, and then you have to buy a clamp, and then you have to buy something to attach your camera, like a ball. It's a lot more expensive. Magic Arms are great, don't get me wrong, but the Magic Arm has to attach to something that it can clamp on. So it'll work on a small railing. You're not clamping a Magic Arm to a telephone pole or something like that. Hey, by the way, I just wanted to mention, you've seen these, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of them?
I think they're awesome.
They're awesome, right? Have you used one?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyway, how about Glenn's book? Now, Glenn's book, come on.
Glenn's book is awesome.
It really is.
Awesome.
It is, right?
Yes.
Oh, you read it?
No.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. We have a great topic for today. Our topic really is, when working as a team, who really is the artist? Who really is the photographer when you're working in a team? And I'm going to read you a quote. We're going to look at some, well, I have a quote from you that started all this off. We're going to do all that and more right after this short break from our sponsors. But we do want to say hi to Hugh Photo from Orlando. Just had to get that in there right before the break.
Right.
Now can we go to break?
Yes. Let's go to break.
Hey, let's let Jen take us to break there. Jen, take
We're
us
going to break. We'll be back soon.
Wow, she's like...
Hey guys, Christy from Shark Pixel here, and I am so super thrilled to be bringing you this fully loaded new class all on retouching eyes. All right, you are going to learn things like how to accentuate or change eye color, how to add dimension, how to open eyes in multiple different ways, and lastly, we're going to get really advanced and start adding some luscious lashes to our images to really make those eyes pop. So stay tuned and watch my new class only on KelbyOne.com.
When you need a tripod that is compact, that is portable enough to take with you anywhere, one that is adaptable to any situation, that will prove versatile enough for any shoot, and is compatible with your other gear, giving you freedom to create your own perspective. Look no further. Platypod Ultra does it all. Platypod Ultra, now on Kickstarter.
Hi, I'm Richard Burnaby. We're in Cape Hatteras in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We're going to be doing some landscape photography on these beaches and lighthouses and sunrises and sunsets. I'm going to share with you some powerful tools in the digital darkroom, exposure blending, focus stacking, panoramas. So in order to get the most out of those digital tools, you need to capture the images in the field in such a way to make the best images possible. I'm Richard Burnaby. Check out my latest class on KelbyOne.com.
Hey everybody, we're back. It's going to be one of those shows. It just is. Anyway, we're very glad to have you guys here. Hey, Graham's here from Scotland. We've got...
Oh, hi.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Hi, Graham.
How about this? We have Photo Express from Lithuania. We're just bailing on your first name altogether. Daniel's here from Zurich. Let's see, Toronto. Oh, Toronto. Photo-Walks. I get it. Hi from Toronto. And Fernando. Or may we call him Nando.
It's Nando.
It's Nando. Welcome,
I don't know,
Nando, from Portugal.
Orentishka? Maybe it's not that hard from
Oh, it
Lithuania.
is Orentishka.
You think it's that hard?
Wow, that was
That
really
was
Well,
good.
I could be wrong, but it doesn't
No, I think
No,
you're
that
right.
did
Now that
wow.
you said it, I think it's right. From Vilnius, Lithuania.
Unless I'm wrong.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Unless I'm wrong.
All right. So it was Nando, Cheeky Nando, who actually wrote the comment that we're going to talk about today. And so I have it here. I'm going to read it for you on a piece of paper. And so when we saw this, I read it to Kalebra because we were like having, like coffee one morning. It's like, we meet for coffee, right? At a restaurant
Every day.
or something. Every day. We meet for coffee every day. In the kitchen, actually. Anyway, so we're sitting there and I go, hey, listen to this comment. So this was after the last show that you were both guests on, all right? And so he wrote
I blame
this.
Jen.
I blamed him too. So this is what Fernando wrote. So he goes, this is a bit of a controversial question. But when Scott Kelby says Kalebra produces his shoots and Kalebra scouts the location, basically looking for what to shoot, I'm wondering who's the artist at this point? Is it Scott? Is it Kalebra? Is it both of them? When we consider photography an art form, and I believe none of us would think that it is not, I'm wondering if it can be part art and part technique. And in that case, who is the artist? Is it the one who envisions the final result or the one who actually manipulated the equipment to get the final result? Well, of course, this started a whole discussion with people, weighing in on both sides of it. And so what I wanted to do was I thought each one of us would be able to weigh in on
Pick me. Can I go first?
And you may go first, absolutely. The judges have chosen Kalebra for obvious reasons.
Well, no.
Sorry. I'm just...
Well, no, actually, I was really excited when you read this and when Jen read this to me today, because I think the reason you and I kind of segued into this so easily is because if people could look at shoots on this scale, like when you're doing a large shoot, you know, a fashion shoot or something. I'm not talking about if you're setting up a still life on your own or something like that. But when you're working in, say, like a fashion shoot or any kind of commercial shoot or whatever, where you are using an art director, a stylist, a photographer, all of those things, you have to almost kind of look at it as like a band, right? So everybody on the stage is an artist. In every song, in every shoot, each artist is going to contribute more or less, right? So on once there's a front person,
Paul McCartney.
There's Paul McCartney. There's a front person. Somebody will step up and do a lead guitar at some point. Somebody's going to maybe take a drum solo. Someone's going to step up and be the lead vocalist.
Or Ringo.
Or Ringo. It's not always the Beatles, just so you know.
No, it is always the Beatles, honey.
But I think that if in those situations, and like I say, because we came from a musical background and we actually even played in bands together throughout the years.
Called the Beatles.
Called the Beatles.
Those
So
are
it was a little awkward for me at the time.
Too.
But if you could kind of look at those shoots as if it were a band, sometimes, you know, the lead vocalist will be the photographer. Sometimes the lead vocalist would be more like the art director or the stylist. But the fact of the matter is everybody in the band is an artist. The drummer's an artist, the stylist is an artist, the lead vocal is an artist, the photographer is an artist. In those situations, it just depends on who is going to contribute more or less each time.
First off, high five.
Right?
I had not heard
Amazing
that. That was
answer.
great. Great
Amazing.
answer. Secondly, I could listen to you talk all day. Oh, I'm sorry. Back with you live. Hey, so that number
Do you know
one.
what I'm saying?
That is a wonderful
It's
analogy,
perfect.
because you know what it is, and this is. I was going to take a very different tact, because I was going to explain why a fashion shoot or a commercial shoot is so different. But you're like that next level of why, because like when you hear a song, and I use the Beatles as an example a lot because, yeah, he's great. Ringo's fantastic, man.
Everybody knows who
he
the
loves to
Beatles
play
are.
with the band, yeah. So anyway, Peter Treadway says, did Scott just refer to himself as Paul McCartney? No, man, on Ringo.
Peter!
Okay, anyway, back to our story. Ringo was not even the best drummer in the Beatles. That's just mean. I love Ringo. So anyway, hear me, these are my words. When you are a photographer, all right, and you are shooting landscape, or you're shooting travel, or you're shooting any of those things, you are partially by yourself. Like you get up in the morning and it's dawn and you set up your tripod and you set up your camera, you've got a nice wide angle lens and you're holding a cable release. And really, there's no doubt who takes the picture. It is absolutely you. There is no one else required to be there. It is a particular genre of photography that requires nothing else but literally a tripod, a camera, a lens, and a remote. Anybody can do it that can get up early. Here's where it gets sticky, because you can take this little argument and spread it out as far as you want. Whether you get a good picture that morning will not be dependent, if you brought the right gear, will not be dependent at all on the gear or anything else. It will really be dependent on somebody else, Mother Nature. Because you can set up, and I've been to workshops where we have 30 photographers and they all aim the same direction, and then it's sunrise, and if not a single cloud shows up and it just goes from dark to bright, you all get nothing. You get zero. You get no picture, and everybody just goes to breakfast, which is not a bad thing. However, if Mother Nature, something out of your control, shows up and gives you a spectacular sky and all these different gradients of color because there are clouds in the sky to hold all that color, you had nothing to do with it, but it creates a beautiful scene in front of you. But most of the time, as photographers, for landscape, for travel, you're dependent on buildings being built, people doing something interesting as you walk through the city streets. You're always going to be dependent on something else to happen, and you may or may not catch it, so part of it is your timing and things. But at the end of the day, when you do beauty, or you do fashion, or you do a commercial shoot, to do it at the level that we want to do it at, it requires a team. It really literally does. It requires a team of many people for you to see, like when you see the cover of any like fashion magazine, let's say it's Elle or Cosmopolitan or what, Vanity Fair, whatever ones you want. That cover wasn't a photographer and the subject and some lights.
Not at all.
If you look at, and I love to look at these, I don't know if you ever look at the behind the scenes shots taken from like a cover shot. Like if I see cover shot from Elle or something, I have to look at it. There's 35 people on the set. So it takes a team of people. First it takes the model. It takes a stylist, and sometimes multiple stylists. They actually will generally pick the clothing that the model wears. There will be a hairdresser, sometimes multiple hairdressers. There will be a makeup artist. There will be an art director from the magazine that says, here's how we want the cover to look. And so what they do is they have a vision in their mind, like the art director says, here's what I'm trying to create, and I'm gonna hire X photographer for it. I'm gonna bring that photographer in, and they're going to shoot this. And they're shooting the art director's vision. Now, like, and I think I mentioned, did I mention last week or week before about the Walt Disney, what Disney did these amazing princess photos, and they brought in, what's her name? Come on, what's her name?
You mean Annie Leibovitz?
Thank you, Annie Leibovitz. I just went completely blank on it. I went completely blank on it.
She had your back. You're all good.
It's okay.
Thank you, sweetheart. Anyway, so that's the thing, is they brought in Annie Leibovitz, and I got to be honest with you, I've never been a big Annie Leibovitz fan until that day. I was like, oh my God, Annie Leibovitz is the most awesome. And I looked at behind the scenes photos and saw what was done. They literally had people building sets and all this stuff. I mean, it's like, so when you ask the question, who took the shot, right? That's like, who sung the song, right? It's kind of the same thing. It still takes a band, but it's Paul McCartney singing, or it still takes a band and it's John Lennon singing. I'm not trying to say I'm John Lennon or Paul McCartney at all, but I'm just saying, even though it's a team, somebody winds up singing it, and somebody also probably wound up writing it, the lyrics and the music. Because a lot of times, Lennon and McCartney would write a song together in the Beatles, but either John or Paul would actually wind up singing it. So Bob from Oz asks a question here, and he says, a good question. He goes, for example, Kalebra had this idea for a shoot with a guy at the piano, but Scott shot it. So whose piece is it?
It's our piece.
It's our piece. It's a collaboration. We came together to create this. Basically, Kalebra could have asked any other photographer to do it. You know.
No, So yes, okay, I could have, but that shot, the shot that came out of that, would have been different. So, you know, the lighting would have been just a little different. The camera angles would have been just enough different. Everything, the way you shoot is obviously different from the way someone else shoots. So yeah, I mean, another photographer could have shot it. Another art director, another stylist could have art directed and styled it, and it would have all still come out, but it would have all come out a little differently. So, do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
To get that shot, it had to be the two of us.
Now, Jen could have easily have taken that shot as well.
Right.
But and this is where it's a team. So Kalebra says, I have this idea, we're gonna interpret this song, and this was really, she had it from start to finish. We're gonna go to a theater. And then Jen got us a theater. It's like, it was a real, there were so many people involved in that. But at the end of the day, then Kalebra's like, okay, there he is. He understands what he's supposed to do, the model. He's sitting at the piano. And I want smoke and all. Once that is done, then I step in and do my part. Everybody has a part. My role was to do the lighting, but it was to kind of do the lighting the way she saw it. Now, we had talked and collaborated before.
Yeah, and of course things are a little, you know, are sort of fluid in those moments, right? So it's changing a little bit, and you're kind of adjusting as you're going along. The stylist, the art director, the photographer, everybody, the model, everybody's kind of working together, and things will either be exactly like someone had it in their mind, or something will be suggested that changes it a little bit by, who knows, by anybody almost. But you know what I'm saying? So that's fluid a little bit.
I think, and to your credit, after that shoot, you posted that blog post and you gave everybody credit. And that does not happen that often. And I think that could be something that Fernando was bringing up. A lot of times the photographer gets the credit and no one else on set ever gets mentioned. It happens a lot of times in magazines.
Right, but you know what? Think about this, guys. Think about this. Is like when you do an editorial piece, rarely does the photographer ever get mentioned. Right? You'll see a 2-page spread, a 4-page spread, a 6-page, and they don't go, by the way, the photographer was Bob Johnson. And if they do, I mean, occasionally you will see it. It depends on the magazine, but it's not most of the time. But can I tell you what? The magazine, well, now, if it's a fashion magazine, sometimes they'll say clothing by, hair
stylists,
by, sometimes. And sometimes, I think fashion magazines are probably better for giving the photographer credit, because as we learned when Lindsay Adler was on the show, the pay for editorial is very, very low, because you're trying to basically catch clients' eyes that will hire you for commercial, where the pay is very, very high.
And then you won't get credit for it. They won't put your name on those.
They won't credit your name. Like, go look at an ad. I guess that's really what I should say.
Right.
You go look at an ad. Go pick up whatever magazine you want. You will almost never, ever, ever see the photographer mentioned, period.
Correct.
If a photographer gets mentioned, they're not going to list all the people that worked on the shoot. They're just going to go photography by Scott Kelby. They're not going to go, and it was this and that, the other. Now, if I do something like that, I try to list the hairstylist, and I try to give everybody credit, because I really do realize it is a team effort. For commercial shoots and things like that, it takes all kinds of people's talent. You don't need all those people. But to get to the level that you want, to be able to kind of shoot like that, really does require a team.
Right, and there are different kind of shoots. So there's the collaborative kind, where it's like he and I are working together, and we've kind of decided to make this one picture or image or art together. And then there are the ones where you know exactly what you want, and you just hire the stylist, and you hire the model, and you have the makeup artist, and you have everybody do it exactly the way you wanted to do it. And then the photographer is the artist, right? So that's a little different. But when we're talking about those collaborative situations where it is more like the band, you know what I mean, where everybody is the artist in those situations.
And as a producer, I get hired on set to basically fulfill the vision that the photographer has. So it's kind of, it goes with the territory where I know I'm not going to get credit. I know I'm not going to be, even thanked or anything like that publicly. It just kind of, that's just the way it is. But when the photographer has a really clear vision of what he or she wants, it makes my job easier. The only time, in my opinion, that it gets a little iffy is when the photographer doesn't have a clear vision, and then other people start making those creative choices for you. And it's one thing when it's a team, but it's another thing when the photographer doesn't have that clear vision. And that's really what a photographer gets hired for their vision and their point of view.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, like Annie Leibovitz brought to that. When I saw her pictures, they were just like, I was like stunned at how great she did. And Annie Leibovitz, of course, gets all the credit, except for there was an amazing set, incredible hair, incredible makeup, incredible everything. And you could say that that's not fair, that there were so many people in there. But at the end of the day, nobody, including the model, got paid anywhere near what Annie Leibovitz did. They feel like Annie Leibovitz has that certain something.
Yes, her vision.
Her vision or her way of shooting it. Now, I don't know where Annie Leibovitz was inserted into this.
Exactly. You don't.
She could have been in there from the very beginning.
Right.
It could have been her idea. She might have approached the magazine and said, "Hey, we should do this thing." Because, like I know Joe McNally. I've had talks with him where he'll go to a magazine and go, "Hey, I want to do this series." Like he was talking about the one where he has all the Olympic athletes that are naked and they're posed in a way to hide their nakedness.
Why did you look at me?
Anyway, but he proposed that deal. He like really went there and stuff. So I want to read some of your comments, but I want you to see where we're going on this. Hey, I just want to tell you, I added I tried something I've never done before, and I added another member to my team. All right, so Kalebra and I worked on a shoot together, and sometimes I have to do a shoot that is a tutorial, and then sometimes I get to try to make something really nice. And so if I know I'm going to try to work hard, I've already learned that if I bring Kalebra to the set, it's just going to come out way better. It just is, and the way that she like connects and just she sees things that I would never see, and every time she leaves, I always go, oh my God, if you hadn't been there, this wouldn't happen or that would happen. So I want to show you a shot here. Can you see my screen there? So this is a shot that Kalebra and I did together just recently. Now, so it took, we had assistants on the set, we had hair and makeup, we had all kinds of things to get to this shot. Now, it's very simple. It's just like clamshell lighting, right? The lighting and stuff was actually very simple. It was everything else. But I did something I haven't done before. I sent this out to a high-end retoucher. So we had a guest here in the studio a few weeks ago, and she was telling me about her friend who's doing all this high-end retouching work, and I'm like, hey, I'll send her a shot, and I let her send it. So she just sent it back today. It's the shot that you just saw. Now, I had retouched it myself before. I sent it to her. I would never show you my retouch. Let me tell you, she is so good. Oh my God. I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Because you know what it is? I'm a photographer who does retouching, and I teach other photographers who do retouching. She's a retoucher.
Right.
She is, that's all she does. And she does that pixel by pixel level stuff.
Wow.
And goes into detail and does stuff that I would not have the patience for. I would jump out the window. I could not be a high-end retoucher because I have the attention span of a hamster. And so I'm like, okay, it looks good. And I'm used to making it look good for a photographer. I am not used to making it look good for a high-end retoucher. You know, oh my gosh, people like her, Mary Ketchum is her name, Christina Shirk, people that are those high-end retouchers, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I was really stunned, and so now I'm sold. Like, okay.
Wow, okay.
Like I told her, I said, send me the invoice, and I'll send you my next picture. She's that good. Anyway, but really, what she did was really amazing. Is the details. All the little details.
It's always about the details.
And I'd like to show you the original now, but I'm not gonna.
I know. Anyway. I was wondering if you're gonna show it.
No, it's a nice shot. Like the original was really nice, but when I see what she's really done to the skin, which is and just all the little detail things, like making absolutely perfect eyebrows. By the way, your eyebrows on point.
God.
I love your eyebrows. Oh my gosh, you've got the best eyebrow. I love your eyebrows.
Thank you.
What a compliment.
Now I'm just really self-conscious, but thank you.
No, come on. You've got the awesome. Look at my eyebrows.
No,
they're like a disaster.
Nobody zoom in on anything.
Juan, get tight on my eyebrows. Get in really tight. No, we're not.
He's not even
Stop. See, you can't see mine because they're hidden behind glasses. And why do I hide them behind glasses? I don't even need glasses. I don't even need them at all. I use them to hide my eyebrows. All right. Hey, I do want to mention this. I want to read some comments. But when we're talking about photographers going uncredited, it is very, very, very common for a professional wedding photographer to hire second shooters, third shooters, other people that are shooting. They're actually shooting. And when you're done, the photographer gets all the images, and you're never credited with those. This also happens. A lot, like for people who shoot remotes. Like I remember someone having this conversation, I think it was with Joe McNally, so if I'm wrong, but Joe mounted like a flash and a camera or something inside a jet cockpit, and the jet fighter, it's a single cockpit, the jet fighter, he had to trigger it. He had to actually press the button because they're like going, 700 miles an hour, and
Joe was throwing up?
No, Joe wasn't in the plane. No,
he was incapable of pressing.
Joe was not in the plane.
Joe was not able to press the button?
No. Yes, he's not, because he's not in the plane. Joe's on the ground. All right. I'm going to go get another shot while we're talking, all right? So let me ask that question. Who took the photo? It wasn't Joe, because Joe was on the ground. The actual pilot took it. Right. But when you see the photo, it would be credited Joe McNally's photo. Because Joe mounted the camera in there, Joe set it up, it's Joe's shot. You could have a chimp go click, and it would take the shot. So it doesn't take it away from him. Now, take a look at the shot I have on screen. Okay, so this is a shot that I took.
That's cool.
It's a hockey game, obviously, and you can see the puck right there in the back of the net. Okay, so here's the thing. I took this from the other side of the rink all the way over, but it was Brad Moore and Scott Audette who went up in the rafters, who used magic arms and safety cables to mount and aim and frame the whole shot. I'm down, 200 feet below with a remote going, click, click. And this is, I'm not kidding you. So there was a break between periods. Ready? This is a horrible story. It's a break between periods, and I'm like starving. I go out to the the concession stand. I'm waiting to get like a hot dog, and I'm sorry. I was waiting to get some vegetables.
Right.
A plate of vegetables. Anyway,
so healthy.
I'm out there, and then
I don't believe
all of a sudden the game starts, and like I've already ordered, my food's coming. I just need another 30 seconds. And then, so one of the things about a hockey game is you can usually tell where the puck is just by listening. When people start going crazy, they're shooting on I hear cheers, whoa, woo, cheers, and I realize I just start firing from the concession stand.
Oh my gosh!
I can't even.
Wow!
I can't even see, but it doesn't matter. My camera,
right.
My camera is aimed at the goal. Pucks are flying. I can hear the crowd. I'm just going click, 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 click.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's not how I got this shot. I was actually looking, and I'm trying to time it, but
no, but your instincts as a photographer took over.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
You got the shot.
Yes, thank you.
So you were clearly the photographer in that case.
Thank you for saying so.
You're welcome.
Did you say mount the camera up there? Let's get a shot from up there.
Well, yeah, it was like.
There
any
you go.
way we can mount a remote.
That's your vision.
Yeah, I think when you get like, and Joe obviously, was the photographer in that case. I think if the shot was not going to happen without your input,
exactly, yeah,
then that's how you draw the line. That's how you figure it out.
I know, but I number one, I really did feel bad, like shooting the remote at the concession.
Well, you could feel that, or you could feel like crazy, like
I'm a boss.
Crazy like a boss.
Yeah, you're like, I don't even have to look.
I didn't feel like that whatsoever.
Or you could feel really awesome that your photography instincts took over.
My instincts. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Let's read some comments here. Got a couple of hellos from around here. Craig's here from Woodbury. John is here from down the road from Dog Pound Air Force Base.
Oh, sweet.
Or could be AB, could be Alberta.
Alabama.
Yeah.
No, it's not Alabama.
Nobody knows.
Alabama's AL. Barbara's here from British Columbia. All right, Johan, we always read all comments from Johan. Very important.
I got a good answer for you.
All right, I'm going to let you answer. I'll read it, though, for you.
Okay.
Because it's hard reading. Johan says, if I do a shoot imitating a very famous photographer like Joel Grimes or Frank Doorhoff, or do I dare Joe McNally, am I the artist or are the one that you're imitating the artist, Kalebra?
You, Johan, in that scenario, are a cover band.
Oh, I love your analogy.
Yeah, you're a cover band, and that's the way a lot of musicians start out, by imitating the other the bands. And so you're a cover band until you get comfortable, confident, and you learn how to do it. You're going to school on those professional bands, or Joe McNally, or Frank Doorhoff. And then once you're confident, and then you can go out and do it on your own, and then you're writing originals.
So, are you on the grid often? Sorry.
Scoot over.
I can see why you were uncomfortable here the last time, Jen.
Yes, okay. Back with you live. Okay, wow, what a great analogy.
It really is. It's perfect.
But it's because it's true. It really is. If that's the way people need to look at it. And I really do think that's why we were able to segue so easily into it, because we had that background already.
I'm like bringing nothing to the show. All I'm doing is reading questions. All right.
You had the whole concession stand thing. That was really awesome. I was impressed. I mean, I don't think I would have thought of it.
I think as well, though, when you try to imitate someone and someoe's work, a lot of times it comes out really different from their work.
Yeah.
And I think it
and then you realize how good they are, right?
Yeah, it could turn out really different in a bad way.
Holy crap, they're good.
Exactly. Like, this looks nothing like it. But sometimes it's just the inspiration. And then it's like, it's not a direct copy, and I wouldn't suggest that for anybody, but it's like, it's just the inspiration. And then your own vision comes out.
Yeah, and you make a really good point there, because Johan, I think it is very important to actually copy your heroes. I think it's very important to copy the work of Joel Grimes and of Joe and everybody. I think it's very, very important, because you're not going to steal any jobs from Joe. No offense, Johan. Joe's like, he's pretty, Joel, they got their clients and all. But it's really important to do this, because from copying them will your style come out. Now, very rarely have I seen anyone that says, I've never tried to do a Joe McNally style. I'm kind of new to this. I'm going to try it. And you look at it and you go, that looks like a McNally. You go, it looks McNally-esque. You used one flash and you gelled the background and stuff. But there are so many elements that go into a Joe McNally photo, and some of them are magical, that it's hard. But going back to, there was a band analogy. So, and I've said this before, so forgive me if you heard this on the grid. But when you're learning to play guitar or whatever, the first thing you do is you go copy the guitar solos, note for note of your favorite. Like, you go listen to Joe Perry guitar solos, from Aerosmith, or you go Eddie Van Halen, and you learn them note for note. Now, those solos have already been done, and the only thing that you can do is replay them, and everybody in the room knows, oh, you're playing the Van Halen solo. But however, at some point, all of a sudden, your style starts to grow out from that. Where you take a little bit of Eddie, and you take a little bit of Joe Perry, and you take a little Joe Bassamata, and you get all these different people together, and out of that, you take little parts. You take the parts that you could do, or the parts that you do like, and out of that grows you. And if you talk to any musician, they'll go, who were your influences? They go, you never hear a guitar player go, nobody. I did my own thing. They will tell you, oh my gosh, I learned every song of B.B. King's, and I learned every little note he played and every lick he played. And then you listen to his record, and it's like, well, yeah, maybe it sounds a little influenced by B.B. King, but you don't go, wow, he sounds like, Steve Vai does not sound like B.B. King, but he probably worships B.B. King.
Well, I mean, even the greatest artists, had apprentices. I mean, that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to go study under Michelangelo so that you could be a better painter, and you tried to paint like he did for a really long time, and by the way, you would wind up doing paintings that were sold under his name, right?
Yep.
But
it's true.
They were not his paintings. So I mean, this has gone on for a really long time.
But also, you did a class on beauty headshots, lighting recipes, beauty headshots with Orshi as the model. And I was on set for that, and I thought, God, that's so pretty and that's so beautiful. And you let me borrow your lights, and I applied it to my boudoir photography. And now
that's code for naughty.
Naughty photography. So I applied it to what I do, and my photos don't look like yours, but you were the influence for it.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, but can I tell you why your photos probably didn't look like mine? And it wasn't because you didn't know where to put the light. It wasn't because you didn't have the right lights. It was probably because you weren't shooting the same person. It is so amazing how when you can follow the exact lighting recipe, and on someone else's face with different features and different facial structure, how different the lighting will look on somebody completely different. Hey, we have so many comments, come here. Well, let's do this. Let's take a short break, because I see the words break time, and that usually means something.
Take a break.
Oh, yes, I think that's what I mean. We're going to take a short break. Rachel is on the desk today. She's on the hot seat. And so everyone be nice to Rach today.
Dancing.
She
looks much more calm than she did at first. She looks seriously like jumping out the window, but now she's dancing, so things must be going pretty good in the
Before we take a break, can I just say, Clinton Ferrara has probably the best comment of the day. The ship needs the whole crew to do their jobs, or it doesn't move. And I just want to say today, Clinton, you are the coolest person on the planet.
And that is an inside thing.
It's an inside thing.
It's a totally inside thing.
Although he is a very cool person, just in general, at all times.
He is.
But today,
I agree.
He's very special.
We're going to take a short break. We have lots of comments coming in, and Jen's here, Kalebra's here, and Juan is nearby. You can feel his presence right there. Boom, there's Juan. Climbing up the ladder. Juan, come down.
So in Lightroom, we're working all the time doing the same things. We're editing our photos, we're organizing our photos, maybe we're printing our photos, but there's a whole ton of things in Lightroom that we don't do every day. But they're important, and sometimes you need to do them, like maybe making a custom file naming template, or maybe working with the history panel, or using face tagging, or the map module, or all these other things like soft proofing and stuff that we don't get to do all the time. How are you going to learn that stuff? I'm going to help you. So I did a class called Everything Else in Lightroom. This is Everything Else in Lightroom Part 2, and I'm going to cover all that other stuff and so much more. Come check it out. There's a ton of stuff in there. You're going to learn a lot, and you can also, I structured the class so you can jump right to the lesson you want, watch that, and boom, you're done. Or you can watch the whole darn thing. Doesn't matter. It's all here exclusively at KelbyOne.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Greer of Dog Breath Photography. When people look through my images, they typically ask me, what in the world? How are all these dogs that you photograph so perfectly well behaved? Are these magical dogs from a magical land? Well, I gotta tell you, no, they're not. They're real dogs. We're going to work with multiple dogs and getting them all in one really nice group shot together. We're gonna work with a wild, crazy, untamed puppy. We're going to work with a black and a white dog together. We're also gonna deal with a fearful, skittish shelter dog. Photographing dogs, as you know, can be incredibly challenging. Oh wow! Situations that you would have to deal with in any normal dog photo shoot. Oh wow! Difficult dogs, real world scenarios. Wow! It got loud. Difficult dogs, real world scenarios. Join me in my class on KelbyOne.com.
Hey, Rick Salmon here. Thanks for joining me. I hope you can really check out my latest class here, my 14th class here on KelbyOne. It's called 20 Time Proven Rules of Composition. Now, before you write me the email, oh, Rick, there are no rules. That's true. These are really recommendations. You'll learn how to break the rules. You'll also learn about some of my photo philosophies. But when it comes down to it, remember that composition really is the strongest way of seeing. So again, I hope you enjoy the class. I'm Rick Salmon. I'll see you online.
Hey, we are back. Jen Coffin is with us.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Kalebra Kelby's with us.
Hello.
You're with us, and we are super glad that you are. We got lots of comments, so we're going to get to those before we jump into things. Let's see. Magdalena asked, what pic are they talking about? I know it's not the most important, but I still want to know. So if you can take a look on my screen here, this was the photo that we were talking about that we collaborated on. It was based on the song Say Something. And it's part of a series that Kalebra and I just started, and it is it's taking a song title and not interpreting it as the person that wrote the song, the lyricist or the songwriter, but to reinterpret the scene in how Kalebra sees it. And then once she interprets it, then I get to go and light it and shoot it and retouch it.
And then Scott will do it in an interpretive dance once we're done.
I do a short interpretive dance.
Once the shoot is done,
right on
every
the set.
shoot.
Then interpretive dance.
Every single time.
It's true.
And that part
right.
is the most awesome.
And if we can share another shot, so Jen went and pulled up one of her naughty shots.
Naughty shot.
She's on
Naughty
video
shot.
control room 1, I think. So this is using the beauty headshot technique. And so I even had to ask Jen, I'm like, what is that behind her, like a scrim? Because in the beauty headshot technique, the light comes forward, right, on both sides of your subject's face, and it kind of carves the rim. And then you have like a large, a medium, or you're using a beauty dish or a softbox in front.
Yep.
Beauty dish in front, and then some fill from underneath. Well, that is the same thing. It is it's the exact softbox basically I use, like a 53-inch. Big, giant, that's a Westcott in that case, right?
A Westcott one, yep.
Big Westcott Octabank behind her. That's pushing the light forward. You can see the light like on her head and on her nose and coming around her cheeks and neck and all that kind of stuff. So it's the same 3-light beauty headshot, but applied in a completely different way.
Yes.
But I think you did. It's very successful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I use this lighting setup all of the time now. Like I told you, in almost every single one of my paid shoots, I use it because the lighting is so flattering on people's skin.
All right. Now, Jen, I'm going to warn you, don't click the left arrow or the right arrow because she's like not safe for work.
Because it might have lit a different cheek.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, Jen. Hey, let me just look for 1 second. Give me a second to look here because I think this would be interesting to if I can find it, and I think I should be able to, is to show you this shot. Where is it? To show you the shot that inspired her to do it, and it's so different than what she did because mine's just a headshot. There it is. If you want to just look on my screen, see how the light's pushing on both those sides of her jawline and on the sides of her cheekbones and all that. So that was the original shot you saw, right? Yep. So it brings it forward. You know what's interesting? If you go to Google and you type in beauty headshot, like this is one of the first things that comes up, right? I took this years ago, and then I went back and redid it, and now I actually want to send it to that retoucher. I want to send it to Mary and go, hey, do this right. Anyway, but just wanted to show you that. So look at how different, though. This really goes back to Johan's thing. Look at how different that headshot is from how you took the exact same technique, applied it in a completely different way, and it just looks tremendously different. And I absolutely love that shot.
Oh, thank you. So sweet.
You just really did that well. Lots of questions. So Joseph B56 says, my wife will take a picture and then I have to do the Photoshop work. She apparently finds it easier to say, make it more red to me than move the slider herself.
It's very sweet of you, Joseph.
Well, but that is definitely team effort. Now, Joseph, here's what I cannot get my wife to do. My wife will not let me do any Photoshop work to her images. I'm always like, I can fix that.
Well, it's because it's on my phone.
But can I tell you something? You rock at post-production. On your phone. I'm serious. I'm so impressed with your post-production. And I wish I could take any credit for it. I never taught her anything. I never said, oh, here's how this app works. She's always showing me, have you seen this app? Have you checked this out? I'm like, I got to get that app. Clinton Ferraro, we already read Clinton's, but it's just always nice to say his name.
Hi, Clinton. Hey, Clinton. Say it again. Hi, Clinton.
Hi, Clinton. Graham Webb is referring back to when Kalebra said you're a cover band, I think, to Johan's thing. And he has a great one-liner. Kalebra just nailed it. And I think you did. That was wonderful.
Thank
Rich says hi from Alaska. Gary Monroe said, instead of the Beatles, would the Monkees be more appropriate?
Today it might be.
Gary, can I say something? No, I gotta stop for a second here. The Monkees were a highly unrated band.
Unrated?
Underrated. Underrated band. Can I tell you something? Seriously.
I like the Monkees.
Go listen to like Steppin' Stone. Not just Steppin' Stone. They had some actually really good. Last Train to Clarksville, Daydream Believer. They had songs that bands are still covering to these days, like Smash Mouth covered like Daydream Believer, and covered one of their songs, and it was like in like. What's the name? I don't know what's going on.
Didn't they sample like part of it or something?
No, they redid it.
Okay.
They redid it for Shrek. There we go.
For Shrek.
I'm having a hard time pulling these today. Shrek. All right. So Jan Vanstein. Why do I have a hard time with that? Jan Vanstein says, where can I get the grid mug? Oh.
Help me, KelbyOne Kenobi.
This one, right? Help me, KelbyOne Kenobi. You're my only hope. Well, Jan.
We're flaunting them now.
We are.
Mean.
Cheers.
Well, I'm sorry, Jan.
These are not the cups.
These are not the cups. These are very special, very expensive, made of real porcelain.
Or ceramic.
Seriously, where can they? Why? You know who I would ask?
I don't know.
Jen.
I don't even know where
Jen,
we got
where can they get these cups? Do we sell them on the?
Yeah, they can get it if they log in. They can go to the member or the community section, and then there's a shop, right?
Oh yeah,
they're there.
Hey, so if you're a KelbyOne member, you have a chance. We have like a gear, what's it called? What's it called? There's a word for it. Lifestyle.
Yeah, what is it?
Something
like. Man.
We're going to find the word, but it's a naughty word, and we're going to find it for you. And so if you're a KelbyOne member,
not a naughty
if you're not
word.
a KelbyOne member, then
swag, is that the word?
No, we didn't use swag.
Oh.
Nobody knew what it meant.
Right.
So, all right, let's see what we got. Stephanie poses a really interesting thing. She says, as a lawyer, it is triggering me to hear about a team to make an image without noting that only one person in that team has the legal rights to the image, at least under American copyright law. Normally, that would be the photographer, but in some cases, which is interesting, a magazine will hire a staff photographer, and that staff photographer, all of their images belong to the magazine. They're doing a work for hire situation. Yeah. And they've given up their rights when they took the shot. They're like, I'm working for this magazine, or I'm working for this website, or working for whatever.
And so the stylist and art director sometimes when they're working for a photographer. I mean, if a photographer hires you to fulfill their vision, same thing would apply.
Rosemary says, I would imagine. Rosemary says, looking forward to seeing you in Minneapolis on Friday. Yay, Rosemary. Come up and say hi. Make sure you come up and say hi. I'll be in Minneapolis. Dave Clayton. Can we just have a moment to go? Oh, Dave Clayton.
We love Dave.
I was just texting with Dave before we went on the air, sending him weird stuff.
What's he doing Saturday?
What's he doing Saturday? Oh, something good, I hope. Dave Clayton says, it's the same as cooking. You follow recipes, but your food never looks like the picture in the book and probably tastes different too. So Dave
True.
Dave
Very
Clayton. True. You know who's an amazing cook? Amazing, like world class? Kalebra. Oh my God. She is the best.
I was waiting for the answer like everybody else.
She is the best freaking, seriously. And the reason why I think about it is like when she'll get a recipe and then she will tell you she's going to divert from the recipe. She goes, hey, I saw a recipe on this, but I'm gonna have to do it my own way. And every time she does that, the best thing is if Kalebra says, I have no idea what to make for dinner tonight, you're like, oh my God. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Because she always just comes up with these incredible, so true story, Jen. True story. I was forcing Kalebra to do a cookbook. What? She's so great. I was forcing her to do it. And I said, I'll do the photography. I'll do all the food shoots. And then so I started writing it. I would write it for, I would say, okay, this dinner right here, stop. I would pull out my iPad or whatever and go, okay, what is in here? Well, and I would write the whole thing out. She's like, this is so stupid. Come on.
This is so stupid.
I have this whole cookbook. It's not done, but enough of a cookbook. And I was like, look, even if you did nothing but go to Blurb and publish 10 of these for your mom and your daughter, because my daughter is crazy. Our daughter is crazy about her cooking. Our son is crazy about her cooking. She's just a killer cook. But now I realize we waited so long that she wouldn't let me do the photography, that she would do the photography. Oh. And now I'm like, what am I going to do? I could typeset it for you.
Stop.
It's true.
That's okay. I'm not going to do it anyway, so there you go.
She's amazing. Clinton Ferrara asks, how was our mac and cheese?
I'm assuming really good.
Her mac and cheese is spectacular, but can I tell you something? I often have to make mac and cheese and standing in for Kalebra. Like my daughter will go, Dad, can you make me something to eat? I can only make a very few number of dishes. So I tell my daughter, is mac and cheese okay? Because it's that or nothing. So I go to the cabinet, there's the mac and cheese. You know what I like about making mac and cheese? My daughter's so tiny, she can't eat all that box. There's like a third of the box left in the pan when she's done. But
just for you.
But when I put that pan into the sink, it's always empty. It's the weirdest thing.
Weird.
Isn't it crazy?
It really is.
It's nuts. I can't explain it. But anyway, Kalebra does something to her mac and cheese. I watch her. I do what I think are the exact same things. And my daughter's always like, it's not as good as Mom. I'm like, freaking nothing is as good as Mom's. Mom is a magical unicorn. So anyway, all right. Let's see. So Fernando says, you can do a beauty dish, Scott. Thank you. Hey,
That's
you know,
great.
so Fernando posted a picture that he did. He's not a portrait artist, but he said, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. And he posted one in the community, and I thought he did really good.
Nice.
Like,
I have to
oh
check
my
it out.
gosh. And I gave him like, hey, you could move the light closer, you could do this or do that and stuff. But it was all just like little minor stuff. I'm like, dude, you are a portrait photographer. You just got to do a couple little things, and you'll be there. You're on your way.
Great.
Fernando says, Jen has amazing photography, just in case you haven't seen it before.
Thank you.
We know that, Fernando, but this is a PG rated. So we don't want to tell people go to jencoffin.com because we'll lose all our viewers. They'll be over there on our site, and it's like, it's not safe for work.
Too kind.
Not safe for work. All right, Peter says, question. Lightroom tour in London, date. We don't have a date. I'm trying to get over there. I have to convince all kinds of people. But I'm trying to get over there. And hopefully this year, but I know it would be a lot of fun. So fingers crossed. But hey, if I go to London the night before, we're going to have a bash.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That kind of bash, huh?
Then I think I'm going to London, too.
Fran Hughes is giving me a love. She goes, she does. Jen is a legend. Dave Clayton says, class by Jen soon. So, Dave, it would have to have one of a disclaimer at the beginning. What you're about to see includes naked naughtiness.
No, not naked.
No, she doesn't do naked.
No.
She does not do naked.
No.
She does really, really naughty, which is different.
I don't think it's naughty. I really don't.
I'm just kidding.
I think it's like beautiful. It's beautiful.
No. Honestly, your work is really great, and it's just some people might go, "Oh my God, Jen, what are you doing?" But the average person would be like, "Yeah, she's
totally,
awesome."
totally. Thanks.
But the other day we were going to click off, and she's like, "Don't click on the next one." I'm like, we're all frozen. Like, what do we do now?
I'm glad though that I work in a place where I can put my photos online, and it's not like you guys are all artists. Like, it's cool.
No, we totally dig it.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I don't have to worry about it.
But we
go there all the time, Jen.
Yeah, we're like living there.
Always on there.
Let's do this shoot. All right. Jose asks, when are you coming back to Italy? Man, Jose, I would go back to Italy tomorrow if I could, and I would go have dinner with Robbie Pisco. So when I go to Venice, I'm taking you with me, by the way.
Okay.
I take some guests. Nope.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry, Rach. No, Rachel's like, me too. No. But when we go, Robbie Pisco is going to make us dinner. And you know what the tradition at Robbie's house is at midnight?
What's that?
Spaghetti aglio and olio at midnight.
At midnight?
At midnight. I'm like, I got to freaking move here. This place is awesome. All right. Raphael says, what does it take to have you here in Aruba doing a class? Raphael, it's very easy.
Aruba.
Send a briefcase full of money to Tampa, and I will come to Aruba. So you know what it is, Raphael? Usually, like if I'm going to a country, except for my own tour, it's usually somebody else producing it. Like I'm invited to speak at somebody else's event and stuff like that. But like in London, we actually produce the event ourselves. But most of the time, it's somebody else invites me. So I'm always up for an invitation. Pat Crawford says, and this is very surprising. Hey, from British Columbia. Hey, Pat. Thanks for joining. Hey, I do want to mention something real quick. Last week we had a new class. It was Everything Else in Lightroom Part 2, right? Mm-hmm. What's our class this week, Jen? Jen knows.
It's Mr. Dave Clayton.
It is Mr. Dave Clayton. KelbyOne instructor Dave Clayton has a brand new class, and the class is?
Photoshop for social media.
Photoshop for social media. Mm-hmm. Boom.
Ooh. Yay.
Let it marinate. So we're very, very honored to have Dave teaching for us. Very excited. One of the best guys ever. What was that? Oh, I was tapping. Sorry.
Now we know. Now we know who it was.
It was me. Yeah, I do that. I do this. I do that. Sorry. All right. Also want to mention that, you guys know, Kalebra, you announced 2 weeks ago when we were all together that we opened the gallery at KelbyOne Submissions.
Yes.
And the submission process is closed. We keep it a short window, like almost 2 weeks, and then we close it. And I will say this: they upped the quality.
Really?
We got some really, really great submissions.
Oh, that's exciting.
So it takes a long time to go through the submissions and the judging process, but we'll be. But I think I don't want to spoil it, but it's coming up. We'll have the gallery showing fairly soon, right?
Yes.
Very nice. You can't say when, right? It's secret.
I cannot say yet.
Okay.
I mean, we have it. We have the date.
We have the date, but it's just super secret.
Well, yes. We just have to once the winner is chosen, we have to get them to agree to that date. So we have to make sure that that's something they can work with.
Yeah. Because we just want to pick a date and go, well, I can't be there that day. Too bad we're doing the show without you. All right. Stanley asks, Scott, are you considering any city in Africa soon? I would love to go. I've been to Africa a couple of times, but I've been to places like, Egypt, not like deep into Africa, where I would really love to go. But again, it's all based on somebody inviting me. Hey, I've got some news.
What's that?
So two nights ago, I put my 300 millimeter f2.8 on sale on eBay.
I am aware.
Boom, sold it today.
Boom.
Oh, that's awesome.
2
Wow,
days.
2 days?
You know what I'm doing with the money?
I'm really surprised.
You know what I'm doing with the money? Buying groceries for Kalebra to make dinners. No, I'm buying.
That's a lot of groceries.
I'm going to buy a Canon 5D Mark IV.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've been shooting a 5D Mark III for a long time, which I love, but I really want a 5D Mark IV. And so when I mentioned that today, when I mentioned like, I put on Facebook, like, hey, I'm going to sell this lens. I'm going to buy a Mark IV. And someone writes, doesn't Canon give you that for free? Mm-hmm. No,
I wish.
No, but people will go and write all kinds of crap. You know, well, Canon gives you all your stuff. I wish Canon gave me all my stuff. I would be thrilled. I will say this. I have one lens on loan. I have the 11-24 is a loaner. But they ask for it back. They're gonna.
Right,
I'm gonna. And when you least expect it, you get an email. Okay, your time is up.
Of a shoot.
Like
we need that back.
Like we gave it to you 90 days or whatever it is, 120 days, and then they just take it back. But that's all I have from Canon for free. Everything else I had to pay for. So.
I am aware.
I know, but if people go and write all this stuff, like people write all kinds of crazy crap all over the place. Oh, well, sure, you get your stuff for free. Why would they give me stuff for free?
Well, I mean, I can understand why people would think that. You know, I get it.
Yeah,
and some people would just think that because you like Canon, and other people think that because they want to think that. But, you know, I get it. It's okay.
It was super cool, too. Right when it came out, they sent it to you just on loan.
Yeah, I had it on loan.
So that was neat.
You know how long I had a 5D Mark IV? 2 days. 2 days. One college, no, it wasn't college football. I took it, no, I kept it a little longer. So they sent me a loaner, and I took it to Iceland.
Oh,
right?
that's
I took
right.
it to Iceland,
yeah.
And I was supposed to and they were like, supposed to send it back, and I kept it a few extra days and stuff.
And we did the shoot at the museum.
So, oh yeah, I probably kept it a little longer than I should. But they were really kind about it, you know, because they don't have that many models. Before they released the camera, they don't have a whole lot. But I think what happened was I had it before the release, and then it came out, and then I still had it a little longer. But it's been long gone now, like 5D Mark III. Johan says, Scott, when are you on professional imaging in the Netherlands? Ever consider coming back here? All right, I'm going to make a blanket statement here. Johan, the movie. No, so no, I'll go where usually if people invite me is where I go. I just don't go, hey, I'm going to call it professional imaging, tell them I'm coming. They have to invite me. And so a couple of years ago, they did invite me, and I spoke and had a wonderful time. I got to hang out with Frank Doerhoff like the whole time. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Frank and his family are just so nice and so much fun. And Frank is the most gracious host you will ever come across. I mean, he's just so much fun. But you know, they invited me. I spoke at the photography show last year in England, or the year before.
I remember that.
Because they invited me. You can only go. I just can't show up at people's show and go, hey, I'm here.
Well, but they might think that you were invited and you're not going to, you know.
Oh, no, if they invited me, I'd be there. Are you kidding me? Any excuse to go to the Netherlands.
Because sometimes you can't go.
Awesome people, incredible food. And Frank knows this one restaurant.
Lots of vegetables?
Lots of vegetables and healthy things, all organic.
Okay, good.
And cheese. Alrighty, Loopy Bridget says, because of my KelbyOne membership, I got an amazing deal on a lens rental for my trip to Maine next month at Lens Pro to Go. Got an 11-16 f2.8. Ooh, can't wait to play with it. You know what? I'm jealous on so many levels. First off, we love Maine.
Oh my God.
We used to go to Maine every single year, and then we stopped because it's cold.
No, I think, well, because our son went to college.
Yeah, our son went to college, and he
kids want to be educated.
I know, ruined such a good thing. He's a junior now.
Because we went in the summer.
Junior? Wow.
I know.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Just finished.
He's like flying through. You know,
I don't know what's happening.
It's like every year he moves ahead.
That's so weird.
It's crazy.
Actually, that's really good.
All right, Bob from Oz says, the only reason I'm shooting is so one day I can get a paid trip to Tampa.
All right, Bob.
Awesome.
Bob, can I tell you something? I'm here in Tampa. It's not that awesome. It is right now. Summer just hit like this week. We had an unusually mild.
Summers are tough here.
But it hit. You like walk outside your house and you just fall and do a leap and start crying.
Start weeping.
You just start weeping uncontrollably.
Man, it hits you
It's
like
true.
a wall.
Every day.
All right, I just want to make sure there's nothing I have forgotten because there were some other relatively important things.
And hi, Loopy. We love her. She was at Photoshop World too.
Yeah, Loopy rocks.
Yep.
That's all I've got.
Awesome.
And I think we're just going to wrap this bad boy up. Hey, I'll tell you what you could do. You know what you could do? Here's what you do, because you guys are awesome. Go to, say it with me, KelbyOne.com. Sign up for the 10-day free trial. Do you know why we always talk about the 10-day free trial? Because people join and they fall in love with it, and they're like, oh my gosh. They go and watch a few classes, and they just, you know, you guys see the trailers that we play, right? So you know what it is? We try to make incredible classes every week. Every Thursday, a new class comes out. And I work with Jen. Jen and I sit down, we work, and we talk a lot about it. She's producing a lot of the classes. She helps us develop them and all kinds of ideas. She also finds photographers.
I do.
All over the world. When we're bringing in literally photographers from all over the world. If we find somebody who's really brilliant, and I've got somebody to talk to her about today.
Oh, yeah.
That you haven't heard of before.
Okay, I'm excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yay.
But you know what? Our thing is, it's a two-part thing. We have to. There are a lot of really great photographers. We have to find brilliant photographers that are amazing instructors.
Right.
They have to be like really great communicators. You know, able to just captivate and engage you and all. That's a lot harder. Hey, there we are. That's us, KelbyOne.
Yeah.
Right now. So come by and check us out. You can take the free trial right there. See the blue button? You can't resist it. It's in blue. See how it highlights and bounces and stuff? Okay, that's good. Scott, will you be coming to Portland, Oregon soon? Wait a minute.
I love Oregon.
I'm doing a West Coast thing in August. I'm going to San Francisco. I'm going to Seattle. But I think the other city is Los Angeles. Los Angeles.
LA.
I don't know. I hope to get to Portland. I try to get to Portland every year. Hey, Gary says, been a member for 3 years. Love it. Love it.
Yay.
Now we're just going to show, oh, there are the cities right there. Seattle, that's the seminar site. There, that's me. That's half of my head right there. That's the better half. Really gets bad below that. Somewhere in there, the cities. Keep going. Getting close, getting warmer. There we are. Minneapolis and in Indianapolis, those are coming up. So it looks like in August, I'm going to be in LA in August, and then San Francisco
and Seattle.
And then a couple of days later, Seattle. I'm like a whole West Coast tour. You should come with me.
Yeah, I love those places.
I'll treat you really nice. I'll wine you and dine you. We can do some shoots. I know a restaurant, I know a pizza place in San Francisco, Tony's Neapolitano.
Yeah.
Anybody watching from San Francisco, tell me Tony's Neapolitano isn't just off the chain. All right.
Never been there.
All right. So Raphael says, thanks for the answer. I'll see into that. By the way, talking about getting inspired by other big photographers, I'm really interested in the style of lighting of Bill Gekas. It looks so painterly. How can I achieve that kind of lighting? Since I don't see the highlights, it looks not flat, but I can't get it yet. Well, we're going to go look and see. Oh, my gosh. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. I know you know who this guy is. This is the guy that does the classic painting style. Like he
like
makes
Renaissance or something.
Yeah, like his photos look like Renaissance photos. There's a Google search of them right there.
Oh,
and
okay.
You know, this he's wonderful. And so there's a lot going on here. And part of it is beautiful lighting. And it could well be natural light. I'm not sure if it is or not. But if it's not natural light, you can get a very natural light look. It is wonderful subjects, really, really wonderful subjects. So his subjects are on the money, and all of the styling around it, like the backgrounds.
There's a lot of work going on.
There's a lot of work going on. And at the end of all the wonderful lighting and the great styling and a wonderful subject is brilliant post-processing.
Yes,
like
definitely.
the post-processing is like really on point. So
for something
it's
like
not
that,
just the lighting.
Someone's really studied that particular type of painting, that Renaissance, the masters kind of artwork. You know, you really want to unpack that. You want to delve into that kind of stuff if you want to achieve that look shooting it. You know what I mean?
I was going to show you a picture, but I can't find it. I was going to show you where is that?
Yeah, the lighting on these it's so beautiful, so soft.
Oh, I can show you one. Here we go. So this is a portrait that I did last week, and I love that. I was trying to get that window lighty look, and I tried to go really, really subtle. So there's a very, very, very large softbox 12 feet tall by, no, it's like the one that you used. It's same size, like a 50-something inch. I used an Ellen Chrome, but you're using a Westcott. It would look exactly the same. It's not like the softbox is gonna, But that is one single light. And the reason why the background seems lit is I put it very close to the background. So the light is actually going past her. If you give me a second, I'll come up with a production shot.
Okay.
I wrote about it on my blog. Give me just a sec here. I'll find I will. I'll find a production shot. Like some kind of a boss, I will. Here, give me 1 second. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Looking.
Is that it? No, that's stupid. Is that it? That's kind of stupid. Well, I'll show you this one. So take a look here on screen. So you see how like it's just one big light sitting on a stool with a canvas backdrop. And I put the light close enough to the background that a little bit of the light from the edge spilled onto it. Because I didn't want to set up a second light because I'm lazy. No, I wanted that look. I wanted that. You wouldn't have a second light on the background if you're using a window light, right? I wanted the one light to do it all. And so if you'll notice where the subject sits, where she sits, she is just receiving the very back edge of the softbox. Because in the middle of the softbox is the brightest, harshest light. And as you move away from the middle, the light gets softer and softer and softer. It's called feathering the light. So you feather it away so it's not aimed directly at your subject. It's kind of aimed at the side. I'll see, give me one more second here. I'll see if I can find another one for you.
Is that V flat back there? Were you using that?
No, it's leaning against the wall.
Just happened to be there.
Yeah, so you can see from my shooting position, here we are. So I might be able to make it a tad bigger. There we go. So you can see where the softbox was. There's the little thing. It's very simple setup. One light, stool, and that. And I shot tethered, use a little tether tools rig. Now, if you do and put the light the exact same spot, and you have a similar canvas, and you put a stool there, and you take a picture, it's not going to look like this. Because the light will not hit your subject's face in the same way. When you shoot someone else, you're going to go, well, this doesn't look right. So that's a whole nother show, honestly, a whole nother show talking about that. Because what will happen is sometimes, now, that doesn't mean because it doesn't look like that it's not good.
Right.
But I'm telling you, the facial structure. So guys, I want to give you something to watch this weekend, if I can. You'll dig this. On KelbyOne, especially if you're like new, go watch this class. It's a class that I did with Joe McNally, and it's called A Day with Joe McNally. We go to Joe's house, takes us through all his studio and all this kind of stuff. We're driving to Brooklyn with the cameras rolling. And I said, Joe.
I like where this is going already.
And so anyway, Joe takes a guy, throws him off the bridge with no, it was terrible. It was like, Joe, you just killed the man. He's like, it's okay, it's Jersey. No, anyway.
Jersey.
So, ding. No, but anyway, in that, I start talking to Joe about how he's able to look out in a room of people when he's doing a workshop, pull up somebody, and they always look awesome. He reveals it in that class. Now, he didn't want to reveal it. I kept pushing him and pushing him. I'm like, Joe, come on, what's the secret? Well, it's this and what's that. And he was being very vague. And I said, I'm in the back seat, cameraman's beside me, Joe's in the front, taxi cab driver, literally going across, like maybe it was the Queensboro Bridge. We're going across the bridge into Manhattan for a shoot at the Brooklyn Naval Yard. So maybe it was a Brooklyn Bridge. And I said, Joe, I'm not letting this go.
Nice.
We're going to keep talking until you tell me what it was. And he told me what it was.
Are you going to tell us here?
No, it's in the class. And he tells you in the class. He's talking to me in the class, but he tells you what it is.
And then he throws somebody off the bridge?
Then he threw a guy off the bridge.
And you filmed it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's worth it right there.
And he said, you had it coming, Joey.
That's right. Well, now I'm super curious.
Tweet it. Joe McNally, as he threw a guy off the bridge.
You had it coming,
You had it coming, Joey. You know what his last name is? Bag of Donuts. Joey Bag of Donuts. If you dredge it, you'll find him. Well, now it's time to say goodbye because we've gone so far off topic, I don't think it's possible to go more off topic. We want to thank you guys for coming and watching. We would like to thank Jen and Kalebra, who both reprised their roles on the show.
We did.
Quite well today.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And we hope that you guys, now next week, I'm back from Indianapolis. I want to think Rob Foldy might be my guest next week.
Rob Foldy it is.
Son of a gun. Rob
I
Foldy,
love Rob
team
Foldy.
photographer.
Yep.
Now, officially team photographer for
How
Miami
awesome is
Marlins.
that?
It
It's
is
super
awesome.
cool.
But he's just a really great photographer in so many ways. So we're looking forward to have him next week. Rob Foldy. Say it with me. Foldy. There we go. Rach, how'd you do over there today? She's not 100%. She's like, she's got big shoes to fill. Jen is like the master of the.
Wait. Oh no, there's
we have a message?
Book giveaway.
Oh crap! Dave Clayton's reminding us to do our giveaways. Oh, thanks. Thank you,
Dave.
All right, we're giving away a Platypod Max. We're giving away Glenn's book. We're giving away a Lens Pro to Go gift card. Here's where you go. Go to KelbyOne.com/webcast.
Contest.
Oh, shoot. Go to KelbyOne.com/contest. Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
It takes a team.
It
This
does.
is a team.
It does.
I can't even take credit for this anymore. I can't even do it. Go to KelbyOne.com/contest, put in your name, and tell us what you want to win so we don't send you like a Lens Pro to Go card and you're in Slovakia, something with an S. Anyway, so hey guys, I just want to mention Jen Coffin. Where can people go to learn more about you? JenCoffin.com?
JenCoffin.com, or follow me on Instagram at JenCoffin.
At Jen Coffin?
Yes.
Kalebra, where can they go to not to meet you? No. No. She's been taken for like 28 years in September. So
That is a long time,
No.
isn't that? Oh,
It is,
that's
but can I
great.
tell you something? It went by like that.
I believe it.
It did.
I
Can I
do.
tell you something? She's a ball. She's the
Oh,
most. She's like
that's so
the
great.
most
She
fun
is a ball,
person.
actually.
She
She
is.
really
She's like the
is.
most fun person ever.
Oh, it's easy to be that when you have someone who's. Well, I'm
not that
going to get
fun.
all mushy here. So.
No, don't.
I know.
Where
He'll
can they
kill me
go
later,
to
so
see
I won't do it.
Your iPhoneography.
Kalebra.com
That's
or
so cool.
Instagram, Kalebra Kelby. Twitter, Kalebra Kelby. It's Kalebra everywhere.
Kalebra everywhere. Thanks, you guys. Thanks to all our sponsors, and we'll catch you next week for Rob Foldy Madness. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.